Live from the Spill Studios located off the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for A Couple of Cold Ones with Corey and Carlisle.
So that's the official opening now, live off the I-35 interstate?
Any number of
gateway,
things.
whatever. What
yeah.
do you?
My other thing is the I-35 corridor. That was the word I was
That's
searching
the one
for.
you are.
But,
yeah.
It's Sunday night. What the fuck do you expect from me, all right?
Hey, you know what I expect from you? This is what I expect. First of all, I expect a whole lot of suggestions out of you because I've been recommending Halloween stuff for a lot of things right now, and so I'm just gonna make this show about you. I want to hear what
It's
your
all about
suggestions
me.
are.
Yay!
Yes. I have no more to recommend. I've gone through as much as I might have one or two things I can talk about, but mostly
I think I've seen a couple of movies. I might be able to talk about something.
Yeah, more than two, a handful. So, of course, we're going to go through the top five, and then we'll go ahead and get into your picks. Some movies you were telling me about, I have not heard of. I'm interested in hearing what these are, or what these are about.
But before we get on to that, it's time once again for the top five, brought to you by Spill.
Damn, man, how much coffee have you had tonight?
I have had a pot of coffee.
And that is good. I like that.
That is good.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to test. Okay, I am on the right mic. Never mind. Here, okay, we're good to go.
All right, then, number five.
Number five. Oh, we jumping right into it.
Number five.
I didn't get a chance to breathe. Look at you. Number five. Pride and Glory.
Pride and Glory, man. You know what? I am so not disappointed to see this movie down at the bottom of the top five. It did really piss poor this weekend.
Yeah, 6.3 million.
As well it should have. It really isn't a good movie. It's going to be forgotten here in 3 weeks.
What's going on, man? Are people just mimicking each other with these cop films? You mentioned that it looked like We Own the Night. That
We
movie
Own the
Night. What's it? Walking Phoenix.
Yeah, I
Joaquin
think
Phoenix.
I refer to that as We Own the Night too, subletting the night. It was, I think it's one of those things where people keep trying to make the cop drama in a film, and they just don't realize that we've seen it. It's been done, and the only place that's working is on television. But I keep thinking that you've got all these writers who they're watching The Shield, they're watching The Wire, and they're saying, I can do that. And it's like, no, those things work because they're in long form. The short form, you either make a movie about cops tracking down criminals or make a movie about a home life. Don't try to mix them together because it just isn't working.
And we've seen them all before. I mean, we've seen everything they can do within this genre right now. Unless they can do something different. I mean, even Pacino and De Niro couldn't bring anything new to it.
The reason why something like The Shield works is because you watch these characters over such a long period of time that it allows you to make big swings, and you can pull twists without having to do it in the 2-hour format.
Well, let's not mention that at the end of every episode, there's a hell of a cliffhanger.
Sure.
And you want to see what happens. I mean, with these movies, they give us nothing. We've seen them all before.
So
anyway, we got that out the way. So
number 4.
Got your favorite movie here, the Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
It's still there, man.
It ain't going anywhere.
It's not, and it's really depressing because a much better kids film came out after that and just
brought in
vanished.
6.9 million this week, and that movie's already up to man. That movie's almost made $80 million, 78.1 million.
Yep, no, it's doing decently.
I mean, nobody's surprised by this. The only thing I'm surprised by that it hasn't made more money in a quicker amount of time. But whatever. You know what I am surprised about is how well this movie is held.
Number 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got one more in there? Okay, there it is.
3.
Max Payne.
Max Payne.
Yeah, 7.6 million this weekend, up to 29.7 million. And a lot of people are still going to see this movie, man. I'm surprised because it really was not that good of a movie.
No, everyone I've talked to just gives me that sad, shaking head look. Like, because for some reason people walked into this with hope. Like, hey, I really like the game. Maybe the movie will be. Oh,
yeah.
I keep telling you guys, I don't care how fucking good the game is. The movie's going to suck. The only thing that is an exemption is if they actually make BioShock. And if it is actually made by Gore Verbinski, you take somebody who really knows how to do something like that and get real life to it, then you will end up with a film that is interesting and fun to watch. It's just not, you can't adapt this stuff.
Well, I'm worried about, have you ever played BioShock? You don't.
No.
You know the story behind it.
I know the story behind it.
Okay.
I just haven't played it.
I mean, if you can't bring no, and I am convinced that one day we will hit upon that video game movie that will actually make a great movie. But right now, BioShock is such a crazy game. For all you people out there, BioShock is a video game. But as you said, Gore Verbinski, who Pirates of the Caribbean, The Ring, I'm excited to see what he'll do. But that story is so crazy outside of a video game. I don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah, and we'll see. But I am fully confident that he can make it work because this is the guy that made a fucking theme park ride work as a movie.
If they get a good script, but even with a script is so far fetched, it's about a city.
Oh, I know.
Under the sea, man.
It's an existential horror thriller. It's about a city under the sea, and it's got all this Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged bullshit going on.
Exactly.
And it's crazy.
I mean, from the very beginning, it's like, how can you build a fucking city under the sea and nobody notices? I mean, you know how much technology that would require? I know suspense of disbelief.
This is classic Corey. This is you can't wrap your head around it without asking like the little logical. It's called science fiction. Look into it, my man.
No, it's called give me some suspension of disbelief that I can buy into. I mean, really, with this kind of movie, I mean, you really have to play the game. I love the game, so I'm not even trying to like argue with this. But in a fantasy setting, or if they explained a little bit more, I could accept it as science fiction. But I mean, it's a guy. Listen, look, okay, just listen to what I'm saying here. I don't believe. I mean, I can buy into building a city underneath the sea, but this is a guy who secretly goes off and builds a city underneath the sea.
And he's a genius.
Even if you're a genius, you got to have a lot of people to build a city underneath the sea. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, dude. It's science fiction, and I'm looking for. It's about a guy in a suit with a drill. You know what? I'm there. If it's Gore Verbinski, I'm there. If it's not, it's probably going to suck. So, but let's move on.
Actually, your hero's not the guy in the suit with the drill. Those are called the Big Daddies. I'm just nerding out right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nerding out, which leads us to number 2.
Oh, and that's a nice ominous number 2 right there. Because
Corey Coleman, you have 5 minutes to dig somebody else's penis out of your stomach, or you'll die.
To dig somebody, damn, that's a pretty.
Dude, the jigsaw's messed up, dude. So of course, number 2 is Saw 5.
So not only do I suck, but I bite down pretty hard and swallow.
Well, you never know with Jigsaw. Jigsaw puts you in some pretty messed up things, and they really got to keep getting weirder and weirder to make this fucking thing work.
Did you? I mean, okay. Have you seen anything past number 1? Any of these Saw movies?
I've seen the first 3.
Okay, so you've seen the first 3.
Yes.
All right. The last 2 are goddamn ridiculous, man. I mean, they have to bring Tobin Bell, who's Jigsaw, back because everybody wants to see Jigsaw, but they killed him in the 3rd one.
Well, they didn't actually totally kill him, but
No,
they pretty close to killed him.
No, they killed him. He's dead. It's because what they're doing with the last 2 movies is they're bringing him back in flashback. I mean, they had it in the 4th one. They had his ass down.
I remember
on
he was
the table.
dying, but
No, they dissected him like a fucking frog in lab science class. I mean, they have him down on a slab. They cut him open.
Oh, is
He's
that
dead.
4?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I haven't seen 4. So at the end of 3, he's bleeding out. And
they cut that fucker open. He's dead. I mean, there ain't no way around that.
Okay.
So what they do is they keep bringing him back in flashback, and it's beginning to get more far fetched because we don't have Jigsaw alive anymore. Who else can we bring in to take his place? And the way they explain that shit is crazy. So what they're left with is to make, as you say, the traps more gruesome, more crazy. And it's at a point now where they should just make a movie with nothing but the traps. Pull out the plot. We don't need that.
Well, you know.
But
well, you know what? I would not be surprised if we're going to see the end of this franchise.
Why is that?
Well, the thing is first of all, they've got contracts. They've already paid people to make these movies. The writers were hired back when 3 was made to write 4, 5, and 6. It's the same guys.
Yeah, they mentioned at the time, they were saying, because we want to release one every Halloween now. Yeah.
But Lionsgate has just had a huge shakeup. They've had an incredibly huge shakeup. One of the main producers is out. The head guy is saying, you know what, we want to move away from horror and get back to putting out real, serious, good independent films. We want to become like Fox Searchlight or Miramax. We're tired of being like Dimension. Because it used to be the place where you went and had those kind of films, but then they got successful with picking up these independent horror films.
Yeah.
And several producers there became, pushing horror and made them very successful. But now they want to step away from horror, and in fact, they've actually screwed a whole chunk of their horror films. They had 3 genre films that, because one producer was attached to it, and he's out now, all these films got screwed. One is the one that a lot of people talk about, Midnight Meat Train.
Oh, yeah, the Clive Barker movie.
2 other ones are The Burrowers, which is a really awesome...
The Western.
Yeah, really awesome horror Western. And then, of course, the guy who directed several of the Saw movies, bringing it back around.
What, James Wan?
Repo the Genetic Opera.
James Wan did the first one. I'm sorry.
But Repo the Genetic Opera also got screwed in that.
Oh,
but,
really?
Yeah.
Because that really needed some backing behind it.
Yeah, they're like going to release it in 3 cities and then dump it on video. It's really sad because even though I wasn't a fan of it, the people who are going to love this are going to love the shit out of it.
No, I already hear people who saw it, like, you're not going to like this, but some people who downloaded it and they're like, man, I got to get the soundtrack to this. I love this movie. And yeah, apparently it's built up quite a fan base before it's even
Now,
released.
this is one of those movies that even though, I really hate...
What, Saw?
No. Even though I really hate piracy, it's one of those things that I'm not feeling too bad about the people who download it, because those people are going to go out and buy the soundtrack. They're going to buy the t-shirts. They're going to buy this DVD. They're going to buy the special edition 10-year anniversary DVD, because the people who love this are going to want to spend money on it. And it's going to become one of those cult films to where they're going to buy dolls and they're going to buy lunch boxes, and it's going to be...
I know there's not the merchandising behind Wreck with the piracy, but they did help that movie gain a little bit of notoriety on the internet. So, I mean, piracy is... look, I'm not going to get into... Okay, we'll get into it.
Let's move back to Saw 5, which made $30 million this weekend.
Yeah, and nobody's surprised. They knew it was going to make money.
Well,
but
this is the same amount that they've made every year.
But that's enough. That's like, hey...
No. I mean, no, they make this thing for $1 million, $2 million, and then it makes an assload. It is nothing but profit, but I think... number 6, which comes out next year, is going to be the last one. And
they're already making number 6. They've already got it going.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny that you should mention that about Lionsgate, because when they started getting high on the, big on the Tyler Perry movies and some other dramas that they were bringing out, people were saying, wait a minute, Lionsgate, that's the horror company, isn't it? So I could see why they would want to kind of move away from that.
Yep. They want to get back to doing, other indie stuff. And it's not a bad idea. I mean, Lionsgate really did kind of tarnish their reputation by picking up a lot of bad stuff and forcing a lot of bad stuff down our throat because it was profitable over a lot of their, in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were one of those companies that when you saw it, it meant quality. And,
well, even their logo right now reflects what was going on in the Saw movies. You remember Lionsgate used to be like a nice, simple white font with a line, I think, like
a gate.
And it looked like a chess piece. And now it's like Lionsgate. It has like big green
gears and it's like you're like going through this big giant machine. It's Lionsgate. We have the biggest cock in film. And it's,
I was surprised they didn't have like a lion come out of there, like a big demon lion. But yeah, you're right about that. I mean, and I think a lot of people are confused now. So this might not be a bad idea to balance that shit out. But $30 million. You're right about that.
And it's making less every year, but like marginally less. Like last year it made 31.7 million, and this year it made 30.9 million. Although I have a strong sneaking suspicion that more people saw this one than saw it last time, because this time there was a kids movie you could pay to get into.
And sneak into
Saw. And this movie did mysteriously well. And that would be our number 1 movie. Number 1, graduation day, number 1.
Boy,
you finally come out with the 3rd one.
Stroking that mic, boy. Look at you.
I'm thinking about Zac Efron, who apparently, as I hear from Kent, is, quite a piece of ass.
Kent said this?
Oh, yeah. Didn't you read my blog about that? Yeah, Kent is all about the High School, the Musical 3. I don't know who Zac Efron is, but she must be hot if Kent, because Kent just kept going, dude, I want to tap that ass. And I'm like, wow, this Zac Efron chick must be cool. Because I've seen Vanessa Hudgens, and she's, a piece. But...
Look at you. Kent would never say that. In fact, Kent jumped on me for
whoa, slow down there. I don't think Zac Efron is a guy, man.
He paid though, but no, he got on me about giving this movie an okay review. But we're talking about High School Musical 3, senior year, and This movie made a whopping $42 million, man. Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, and it, from what I hear, it makes no goddamn sense whatsoever.
What, the movie?
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. It just feels like a TV movie. I mean, I had no doubt that it would do well, and because it's a harmless movie that people love and has a fan base of millions already on TV. So Disney said, you know what, we're going to release this theatrically because if we have this many people who are willing to watch it on TV, they'll pay to see it, and they did.
Yeah, they will, and they did.
And it
Yeah,
makes
this
sense.
was no surprise. I mean, this was going to be, you know, make money hand over fist.
Oh yeah, and man, you know what? I saw it. It like I said, it's a TV movie, but it wasn't terrible.
Are you looking forward to College Musical?
See, everybody said, you know what? They're done. They graduate. They're not going to make any more. And I was like, no, they'll do two things. And that was one of them that they'll say college freshman or something like that. Or they'll do high school freshman, the high school musical freshman year with a new batch of kids.
Oh, yeah. No, they'll do that. And then it will fail miserably, as all those spin-offs often do.
It'll be like Grease
if
2.
If you doubt me, I dare you to go back and look up Saved by the Bell, the college years. And
Oh, yeah. No.
oh, wow. And then Saved by the Bell, the new class.
You know something, though? That's with Disney, I wouldn't doubt if they pulled it off. I mean, I'm not saying I'm looking forward to another one or anything like that, but I wouldn't doubt if they found some way to do it because those guys
Are you into that
marketing
Zac,
geniuses.
Are you into that Zac Efron girl?
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. And you can call me Gary you want to, but that Zac Efron, he's a handsome guy. I mean,
He's a guy? Dude, Kent, we need to talk.
But what
Dude,
got
I
me,
had no idea you were, you know.
But hey, have you seen those pictures of Vanessa Hudgens?
No, I don't have Google at my house. I've
Sure.
never
Okay.
seen those. Yeah, no, actually I do. There were lots of articles written at the time, and I was actually, you know what? I gotta say, I gotta give it up to her. I threw a couple of elbows at the time that those came out. In fact, I think I wrote a blog about it way back in the day. But she was right about to have this big kind of media blitz, and she was ready to do a whole bunch of talk shows all at once and kind of come out and be the star. And the week that happened, these pictures broke. And a lot of us were sitting there going, this is exactly what happened with Paris Hilton, that this video mysteriously came out right before she's going to do the
so
late.
you're thinking like this was done on purpose.
And I was thinking that, but then she canceled everything and they totally, they pulled out of the big rollout. And so she didn't go and do this big media push after all. So it really did come across as one of those, wow, that guy was kind of a douche for doing that.
Yeah, who did that? Who put those pictures out there?
I assume it was the ex-boyfriend.
So it was an ex-boyfriend that took it.
I
Wasn't
think
it-
so.
wasn't
I don't.
Zac
You know
Efron
what?
that
I
took
don't.
it?
I don't even know this. I doubt it was Zac Efron. I don't think Zac Efron's ever seen a girl naked. But,
No, I think I think these two are pretty tight. Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron.
I think they're lying.
Okay, I mean,
She
hey,
looks like a beard to me.
Hey, look, I won't be surprised by anything, but all I know is they're saying that they're together, and good for him if that's the case because she's hot. Of
course they're saying they're together.
But you know what makes me pissed is that a lot of people are saying, not a lot of people. One person emailed me and said, I am really disturbed by her behavior. I really hate that her behavior has gone this way, and she shouldn't be doing any of these movies. I'm like, you know what? She took, in the privacy of her own home, some naked pictures for a guy that she liked. There's nothing wrong with her behavior.
And the thing is if you look at those pictures, there are candles lit all around, and it's not posing pictures. That's clearly she was getting into bed with her guy.
Wait a
and her
minute, the
guy,
picture I saw was a posing picture. I mean, she was laying it all out there.
Well,
What I saw.
except that no. The pictures that I saw weren't poses. I mean, she was standing there, but it wasn't. They weren't exactly candids, but they weren't. Hey, we've set up this scene to take sexy pictures.
No,
this was a boyfriend in the bedroom who's just had sex, who was about to have sex with his girlfriend. It's like, hey, would you do something for me? Can I promise I won't show them to anyone, baby. It's
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
No, trust me. I'll delete them off my camera as soon as we're done.
Look,
you know?
should young girls be looking at this? No. I mean, is her posing nude? I mean, is this a hint of sexuality there? But is this bad behavior? No, she was posing naked for her boyfriend. The people do this shit all the time. That's not crazy behavior. I mean, you young girls who are thinking that she's some bad role model, wait until you do shit for your boyfriend.
Hell,
You gonna
Cyrus did it for Leon.
Exactly. I mean, there you go. And they took video.
Yeah,
It's moving.
Let me tell you, bleach cannot wash the stains from your eyes after seeing that.
It kind of looked like Leon, kind of like Cyrus talking into a microphone with Leon's hair. But no, people, leave. Don't be so judgmental, okay? If she had done it on purpose, that'd be one thing. But yeah, come on, leave her alone. Yeah. But anyway, there you
that
go.
That movie did really well. Although it's interesting, it did so well on Friday that they altered the projections and they said, "Wow, we thought it was going to do 40 million, but after Friday we know that it's going to do 60 million," and then it did 42 million. Where it's like, oh, we've got kind of a steep drop off.
Yeah.
Because everybody went to see it on the first day, and people went and saw it again, but it didn't do the business they thought it would after the big explosion on Friday. So, but it still did well.
Yeah, no,
so congratulations to that, and we look forward to the drop off next week.
Yeah, what's coming out next week? Real quick before we jump into something else.
Oh God, I think Changeling opens up in more markets.
Yeah,
and Rachel Getting Married comes out.
Yeah,
in several markets, and God, you know what? I don't even know.
Does Role Models come out?
No, that's November 7th, I believe.
Okay, so that's a while from now.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks before Role Models comes out.
All right, damn, that's next week's gonna be a slow week, man.
Well, you don't release much on Halloween. On a Halloween weekend, people don't go and see movies as much. They go out to parties. They go and do other things. They go to haunted houses. It's not a big moneymaker weekend, so
yeah,
you don't want to open your Blockbuster because if anyone who wants to go see a movie on Halloween weekend wants to see a scary movie.
Yeah, man. Zach and Miri make a porno.
Oh, shit. You're right. God, I saw it so long ago. I totally forgot. Yeah, no, that comes out this week. Yeah, we need to record this week for that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
That's a good fucking movie.
Tomorrow night we will record for it. We'll get that done early. What's that?
Oh, we'll talk about that later. I can't make it tomorrow night.
Oh, what happened?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, all right.
No, I've got plans already, so.
Okay. All right, then. Well, let's see. Moving on.
So maybe I won't be in this week's reviews, folks. We'll find out later.
We'll see. I mean, if you're not, we'll do something special with you.
Something special.
Yeah, exactly. Because I want to get your opinion on it.
I'll get the Zac Efron treatment.
And what would that be?
We'll light candles. I'll get the camera.
I have to say, man, that movie is really one of the gayest things I've ever seen.
I watched 2 of the scenes online, and it just made me. I was just like, I can't fault kids for loving it because when I was a kid, I loved Grease 2, and I don't know if you've ever seen. Grease.
No, I've seen Grease 2. You love Grease 2?
When I was like 8, yeah. Okay. My sister had it on videotape, and she showed it. She watched it all the time, and I was like, I'm a cool rider, COOLRIDE.
By the way, Grease 2 is one of those notoriously
let's not
bad
tell people
sequels.
about it.
It is so bad. Grease 2 is terrible.
I saw it in a theater here a few years ago. They played it. They played it at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Did they do it for like Mr. Sinus?
No, it was a sing along.
Oh, sing along. Okay.
And that was so much fun. I went with surprisingly 2 of my friends who are actually gay. They were like, "Oh, you love that movie too?" It's like, "Yeah, let's go see it." And then I realized I was like the straight guy, in the audience. But no, the thing was there were a lot of girls my age there too, so that was also kind of cool. So, but it was, it's such a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that I was like, oh my God, I know the words to every one of these fucking songs. Shit.
Maybe there's something you want to find out about yourself.
I watched it. My sister literally watched that film every day.
To the point that it made you gay.
To the point that it made me memorize the songs.
Well, I can't say anything. I'm in here watching High School Musical 3 by myself.
You actually, as a grown ass man, went to High School Musical 3.
But I did
by
that as a
yourself.
job. I did it as a job, though.
And you wore a trench coat.
It doesn't matter what I wore. I got paid to see it.
See, now, I'm not gonna bust your balls for it because I went and I took the bullet on Bratz.
Oh, that's right.
But for Christ's sake, at least I said Bratz was bad. You're like, it's not that bad.
Well, come on, we're talking about High School Musical 3 and Bratz. Bratz is terrible.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
And I tell you something. It's funny. You talk about Zac Efron. No matter how many times Zac Efron hugs up on Vanessa Hudgens in the movie, you still think he's screwing around with that black kid, the kid, movie Corbin Blue. It's like they're so close. It's like, hey bro, you gonna leave me? You're gonna go to college? I'm like, y'all are fucking, man. It's like, come on, you ain't fooling anybody.
But what about that time after band practice?
Yeah, it's like y'all pull some fucking Brokeback Mountain shit with each other, where like one guy needs to move on, the other guy's like, I don't want you to go. It's like, fuck you, man. Come on, this movie's gonna be playing in gay clubs everywhere. But hey, good for the
Why
children.
can't I quit you?
Except they break out in song. Why can't I quit you?
Why you gotta go away to college? In the experimental years of our life, it's time to come out together tonight.
Rub your hair on my stomach. All right, enough silliness. We got a musical. Hey, let's make ours. Let's rewrite High School Musical 3 and perform. But we won't cast ourselves though. We'll cast Leon and Cyrus.
No, that'll be College Musical.
The experimental years.
Experimental years.
Nice. Anyway, all right, enough of that nonsense. Let's move on to some of your big Halloween picks. Because you were telling me about some movies I hadn't heard of before. I am interested.
Well, that's one of the things. Is every year, it's one of those things when you do this business, when you do this for a job, every year you got to write the same piece. And every year you get the same questions. I get emails from friends. I get, private messages, things like that, where people are saying, hey, can you recommend a scary movie to me? I was like, well, yeah, I can, but odds are you've seen it. And if you go, go ahead and Google top 20 horror films or top 50 horror films. There's tons of lists. Everybody wants to give their opinion. The movies are all the fucking same. Every top 20 list is the same. It's all the same movies. It's Jaws, Alien, Suspiria, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Omen, The
Exorcist.
The Exorcist. That was the one I was looking for. They're all the same movies every time. So you can say, oh, have you seen The Omen? Yeah. Have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street? Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for something, Google that. And if there's something on those lists that you haven't seen, if you haven't seen The Thing, fucking see The Thing. I mean, on these lists, odds are it's a really good movie and you should see it. So what I do every year is I try to find those films that nobody's seen or that so few people have seen that are really worth seeing. And I've got my classic that every year I recommend, and that's The Changeling. Now, this year there's going to be some confusion because they're putting out Changeling.
Okay,
which is a completely different movie.
I knew there was another movie called The Changeling. All right.
The Changeling, 1980 with George C. Scott.
And it's the little creatures that they're breeding or something?
No. It's a ghost story. It's a story. It's a haunted house movie about a guy who moves into a house that's haunted by a 6-year-old kid.
I'm thinking of The Brood. I'm sorry.
The Brood.
Yeah, The Brood.
No, this isn't The Brood. It's a classic, creepy as hell ghost story about a 6-year-old kid haunting a house. And it is so fucking good. I just showed this to a group of friends last weekend who hadn't seen it. We have this little group that gets together and watch movies every 2 weeks. And it was like, oh, dude, you haven't seen The Changeling? Okay, it's Halloween. I'm showing everybody The Changeling. And everybody loved it. It's very slow, but it's really incredible. If you've never seen The Changeling, clearly.
No, I have not.
Dude, go out and rent it this week. You're going to watch it and you're going to love it because it is just a good, creepy, classic character piece. And there's so many good scares in this movie and so many creepy scenes that have been ripped off by other movies but still are just done masterfully in this. There's a seance scene it's creepy twice.
Damn, so
seriously, like
therefore it's twice as creepy.
No, like they play back the seance and it gets even fucking creepier the second time around. It's so good. So check that out, the Changeling.
All right, The Changeling. I'm writing this down. Check out The Changeling. Okay,
really good. Yeah, don't say that and then pretend. I love you. You're not actually writing this, but see the thing
is, that's how I memorize things. I write it down in air letters.
Yeah. What you did is you pretended to write in your hand The Changeling.